Welcome back to the Terra Sentia series. We just got back from break, and let's see. Everyone's on the central plateau of the Kragst, the orcish capital of Kragst, and kind of getting back into the tunnels in order to maybe rest a bit.
Yeah.
Although Keth sort of made a little orcish animal sound to maybe attract would-be allies that may or may not have been helping you out with the arrow fire.
Just to warn peaceful people are coming, I'm assuming something right now because Keth is who could be helping us in this situation except for the orcs who stay in Kragst, right?
Who was firing at the people that are firing at us?
Right.
The enemy of my enemy is my
friend?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. I mean, one could hope.
One could only hope.
So, but before we get into that, I wanted to say that I am very excited about our other show that is going to be airing opposite Terra Sentia, which is called The Trappist Transfer, in which Connor and Ashleen are going to be players in. Mm-hmm. What do either of you want to say about the show that's super exciting for you?
I'm really excited to be playing in a sci-fi universe, especially on a century generation ship. I've always really liked those stories and how they play out.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that everyone was super what the fuck when I said my character identified as female.
Well, yeah, and that's honestly a good leeway because my favorite thing about Trappist Transfer, one of my favorite things, is gotta love sci-fi, gotta love all these different worlds you're creating, but I love that we're going for a transhumanity type world and that people have kind of surpassed death, surpassed gender. We can re-sleeve into whatever bodies we want to. We can download our consciousness, and as a result, it's really fun to play with how you build your character and what you can do with your character. And so I'm really looking forward to that dynamic of an environment. And I think that's kind of why we were all a little bit shocked when Connor was very solidly oh no, my character is female. Yeah. And and she has her reasons and you'll find out.
Yeah. And she made a choice. Mm-hmm. It's definitely her choice. So
for those, for any of our viewers that don't know anything about the concepts of transhumanity, I recommend the novel known as Neuromancer, which delves into a little bit of that, but also more kind of recent would be Altered Carbon on Netflix.
Neuromancer, good one. I would actually go further into the William Gibson canon and read the Bridge trilogy.
Cool.
So that is Virtual Light, Idoru, and Ultimaro's parties, and that really plays with transhumanity. And what it means to have a physical life and a virtual life, and what happens when those two things meet, especially pulling out nanotechnology. Is your online persona you, or are you your physical body?
Yeah. Which one's your avatar, essentially?
Yeah. So
because at that point, it's you're almost at that point spending equal amounts of time in the virtual reality and the real world.
Yep.
Neuromancer in that whole world, you definitely have people who are cloning themselves, who are living really extra long lives. Yeah. But it doesn't explore the human side of it as much as it does the human computer interface. Mm-hmm. So also other good books to read about transhumanity would be The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. Yeah. I am totally drawing a blank on all of these other books.
No, it's fine. You're good. Those are good recs.
Those are really good starting points, I think, for people who
join Connor's book club, y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Join my book club.
But I'm really excited about it. It's a show that I am not GMing or playing in, so I'm going to be kind of running things from behind the scenes, and I'm actually way more excited about that than I...
Producer.
Yeah.
Producer.
And I'm really excited to see other players shine. I'm excited to see Will shine as sort of the sci-fi astrophysicist brain that he is.
The big empty hole over there.
Oh yeah, also Will's DMing.
Yeah, Will's DMing.
Yeah.
And so this is Will's, I wouldn't say it's his first time GMing, but I would say that it's his first time perhaps GMing something maybe this sort of episodic. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely leveling up for him, and I I'm fucking excited so much. I'm so excited for that.
Me too.
So yeah, that's that. I just wanted to kind of talk about that because it's what is it? October 3rd is our
October
first
3rd.
official episode 1 session.
Episode 1, characters, players, everyone has to be ready to roll.
If you
I
want,
don't know how to do morphs. We need to talk about that.
Well, of course we will. But if you want to see more about the world building process and a lot of the character generation and everything like that, we have 2 episodes that are only available for Patreons on Patreon. So check that out if you are looking for a little bit more of the behind the scenes stuff. And yeah, that's it. Let's get back into this shit.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
So
Alright.
To the tunnels.
You made the sort of like orcish kind of call.
And I'm in the lead.
Nobody, you didn't get any sort of callback.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I'm assuming that you all just started going to the tunnels, right?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Kath is leading.
We're
I
still,
don't have any weapons out and I'm in the lead.
We're still sneaky-ish, right? We're
We're
in
still
sneak mode?
stealthing. Well,
Yeah.
no, I guess we're not stealthing anymore because I called out.
But I mean, we're still casting shadow.
we still have the thing active.
I'm gonna say that despite the call out, you did it in a way. I don't know. You kind of did it smart.
Like we weren't visible yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a stealthy call.
But I will say that it's you definitely still called out.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Ferg's bringing up the rear just in case anything tries to follow us.
Okay.
I will bash it.
Sounds good.
So
Maybe accidentally murder it.
I'll just punch whatever's near me. My fists are my weapon.
I mean, you could also use Lee.
That,
I am
I'm not going to use an NPC as a weapon.
slogging along with my shield arm drooping, just like,
You need a smaller shield, bro.
You could,
well, I had one until it dissolved.
So now you have a big wooden one.
wait, when did it dissolve? I
Because all my metal dissolved in the forest.
He's been in the forest for a long time.
So like,
That's why he has a
says
tree
the
branch club.
wooden
'Cause it
backing of the
was like,
shield.
yeah.
All right, when
Which
we
you could
stop,
wear on your
I'm gonna
back.
like make your shield a little bit smaller for you.
But Joy
How
could
you gonna
wear
do
it on
that?
his back.
Just like cut it.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to cut with.
I have a sword.
That's not cutting.
Kath can just punch the
shield
corners
material.
a bunch.
Daggers, like, I could whittle it away pretty quickly. Well, maybe in like a day.
Are you
I mean, it
resting
doesn't have to be-
or are you whittling?
I'm just saying it doesn't have to be
Can
pretty.
we-
Like, can we just like cut it in half or something?
Are you resting or are you whittling?
Can we get in the?
Okay, can we just get in the tunnel
somewhere
first?
safe?
Yeah.
Can that be our
We'll
first
figure
T-shirt?
it out.
Resting or whittling?
Because I will say that this is it's time consuming at the very least.
In general, we just need to get you like a smaller piece of wood if that's where we're
Yeah.
going with this.
Also, just wear it on your back.
So you get
I was, but
you get into the tunnels now. Kind of leaving this open for one of you to take this description on. But like, what? So the tunnel that you sort of duck into. What does it look like?
So it's that main tunnel we came in. It's got those
Yeah.
bioluminescent mushrooms at the top, so you don't
but
have
like
to like
the ones
light
that
anything.
sort of jut off to the side.
Right. So Keth kind of knows by like the doors, like what room is like what type of room, and he's gonna go for one that he knows is kind of like a virtually unused like storeroom.
Well-
Like what?
I was gonna say we should find one of the virtually unused storerooms that has the murder holes on top and get to where the murder holes are and hide up there.
If you suggest that, then Keth will take you to like it's not like through the rooms, like it's actually like what looks like a tiny like unobtrusive room that you wouldn't expect, but like it's kind of like the back is like a false wall in that like it doesn't push behind or anything. It's just like you kind of like walk to the edge and you can see that you can like it's like tapered like this, so there's like a space and you squeeze behind it and you can climb up to the top.
I think that would be a lot safer.
So basically, like if you looked in the room, you wouldn't be able to tell that there was something behind the wall unless you specifically walked and looked, and you'd be like, "Oh, you can go back there." That's what.
And that'll then, if anything comes into the storeroom below us, like we'll have a little bit more of an idea. I've got plenty of javelins. You've got some darts.
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
I feel like it'll keep us a little bit safer.
And you know what? I'll say like we pass the Lee up the ladder and like we do the whole thing. We stealth up.
Right. Wait, you pass Lee up the ladder?
She's still knocked out, isn't she?
Yeah, but what do you mean by passing Lee up the ladder?
Well, like one
well,
person climbs up first, and then another person.
Oh,
like,
I get
You
it. I get
hand her
it. I
up.
get it.
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, for between our strength, like we can
medicine skill?
hand her off.
So
Yeah.
I will say I'm going to give you kind of sort of room to lead this narrative in the sense that because you're who you are, you're of orcish blood.
Okay, cool.
You're you know these tunnels rather well. I would say if it was any of you other folks, like you, these are not obvious tunnels to like getting up to the areas where they're the murder holes.
I would be able to figure it out.
It's still honestly the way that it's constructed. Not only do you realize, oh shit, this is actually way more difficult than I would have thought.
It's intentionally obtuse. Yeah.
No.
Right?
The second thing is that these secret passages were actually of dwarven make.
Yeah.
But so while you're really good at like seeing stone things, they were intentionally built to be stealthy. They were intentionally built to like
Even confused dwarves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
literally have to like
what
know
I'm trying to
they're
say
there.
is it's not. It wasn't a given that you would have spotted this.
Yeah.
So you end up getting up into the rooms with the murder holes, and pop a squat. You get comfy. Is your intention to take a long rest?
I think we probably
If we feel safe enough, yeah, we would take a long rest.
Okay.
Between Kath and I, we can give everybody not a hot meal, at least a decent meal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like dried food.
Can I
Stuff
just
on
use
us.
my medicine skill to like take people up a little bit?
No, medicine skill doesn't necessarily do that for hit points unless you have a specific feat that allows you to do that.
I think we're okay if we get attacked in our long rest, though. I think we'll be.
Medicine, however, will that will like stabilize folks, and it's very good for identifying certain things so that you can treat it appropriately.
Like see if an unconscious person has brain damage.
That's very true. Which, just looking at Lee, thank God she doesn't have brain damage.
Cool. So the punch to her throat didn't
Will
do
she
too
like
much.
wake up if we all take a long rest, or should we like heal her in some way to wake her up?
It would probably be best to heal her. She may wake up. I mean, well, it sounds like you're going to.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like, just be like, "You okay? Do you here? Look into this flashlight."
Okay.
Torch. Yes.
I have a few ideas. So
Look into this bioluminescent mushroom.
first off, I'm going to let's see. Are you guys putting up a watch?
Yeah, I think we'd rotate a watch
Yeah.
between
Okay.
the four of us,
So
and I think we
one-
would bind what's her face's. Like not like in a she can still rest, but we would like make it so she couldn't attack any of us.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
We
One,
didn't hog time.
I would.
3, 4.
I'm
watch.
Joy is a little bit resistant to the idea of tying her up, or restraining her in some way, just because they traveled together for.
Well, what's
couple
your
weeks.
argument? Because you have
Couldn't-
Yeah, okay, so
three
Keth wants to
people that
tie
are
her up,
pretty
and
much
what do
like,
you?
Yeah, let's tie her up. But
I'm like, I'm doing all right. I can rest, but I don't need much sleep. I can just keep an eye on her.
Well, you need your spells back, don't you?
Yeah, but I can just rest, right?
Yeah, but I think it's just better if we just tie her up because she's already attacked us multiple times, and even if she is your friend, it doesn't mean we don't have to be. We'll still feed her. We'll we'll heal her. We're not gonna like make it so she can't rest, but I think we should at least like make sure she doesn't have any weapons on her and make it so she can't like strangle us in our sleep.
by the way, I'm sorry, just a little bit of an out of context interruption. I noticed that you're wearing an Akira shirt, Fisher. Do you know that they're playing that at Academy Theater right now?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah.
Just
FYI.
fucking go.
Yeah.
Like right
I
now.
know, let's go. They're also playing
See you next week.
Midsummer, and I really want to see Midsummer.
I really want to see Midsummer too.
We should go.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and just for context of Joy, like he was traveling with this group for about as long as he's been traveling with you guys.
Yeah, no, totally.
So he's used to these people.
That's
or
why
at
Kat's
least-
like trying
at
to
least with
reassure
Lee
you. Like
and,
we don't want to
trust
hurt her.
them.
We just
Time
want to like
says-
ensure
Time
we're
says,
safe.
well, maybe we can, whoever's on watch, and just, watch her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think she was necessarily attacking us. I think she was.
If she
In the same
fucks up,
position
she's
we were
not gonna
in.
Have a head.
That seems a little harsh. I think that if
Mm.
we were in this place and saw a bunch of people, we would also approach them with a bit of predetermined aggression.
This is my homeland. I would not approach people in such a way.
Yeah.
That is not how orcs proceed.
Well,
And
this is how
time
dwarves
says-
proceed.
Time says, I think that we'll rely on the strengths of our friends. Okay, nighty night.
Okay, so we take a long rest.
Okay, so Ferg, while you were on watch, and I'm just going to say that you were on the first watch.
Yeah.
Everybody else is resting. First watch it is, and so I'd like you to roll a d20. Tell me if you roll anything between a 1 or a 5. Okay.
It's a 12.
So you hear footsteps in the room below you.
Can I see anything through the mirror?
Not very well, although I will allow you a perception check if you'd like.
Yes.
Wake me up, I have dark vision.
Wake me up!
Fuck, now I'm just gonna be singing Evanescence all night.
Wake me up inside.
Okay, that was not an invitation. That was not.
I can't
For you
wake up.
viewers.
Jesus Christ.
You've been my backup singer all night. I love you, Fisher.
11.
Okay, so you can see that there are bodies moving about, and a number of them, but you cannot see specifically which bodies. Partially because it's fucking dark.
Yeah.
And
we don't have any lights up here because don't shine lights through the murder holes.
That would be
dumbass.
the dummiest of dum-dums that dumb did.
And the mushrooms are in the quarters. not in the
I tuck
rooms.
my bioluminescent mushroom under my jacket after hearing you guys say dummy dum-dums. Just like...
and so
We made you put it away.
I put up my cigarette.
You hear that they're definitely stealthy. You hear that they're quiet enough. You hear that there are it's also like nobody's moving to the point where any foot scuffle is actually really loud down there, even though technically it's not that loud.
Yeah.
But one foot scuffle is just it echoes.
If they're tracking us, we left no trace. Just throwing that out there.
Yes.
Oh no, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Did I get a body count?
Again, with that perception score, very much impossible to get a body count.
Like approximate?
Approximate, you're guessing between 3 and 6, maybe max 7.
Okay. So something that we could take on, but could also like really hurt us.
Yeah, depending on.
You also identified this movement. It's definitely bipedal.
Like it's
Definitely.
two-legged.
Okay, so it has that cadence to it.
It's not slugging its way
You
across the
also
floor.
heard whispering.
Okay.
Whispering
that's good.
like
Blob parts don't
communication,
really talk.
or
And
whispering as in like gibberish.
Intentional language-based whispering.
Okay.
Yeah, not gibberish.
Yeah.
And
you know,
then
keep an eye
eventually they leave.
Cool.
Hear somebody
And
step their tower.
those who are sleeping, none the wiser.
Cool.
You did see Lee kind of toss and turn a little bit during that, and you were a little bit like,
She gonna call out?
and you maybe not, but maybe you
fast.
maybe you just like went over and just kind of prepared to like put your hand over her mouth.
You produced
But
a pillow.
It didn't
and-
come to that.
Dagger through the ear.
That's what I meant by hand over the mouth. Jesus.
If anybody was asking, it was hand over the mouth. But
Still quick and fast, little blood.
Yeah.
It'll soak into my clothes and not hers, and not fall through the holes.
Anyway.
The rest of the evening is uneventful, and you wake up with a full rest.
cool.
Sweet.
Wake me up inside.
Definitely when Ferg was
Wake
trading
up.
off the Kath, because I'm assuming Kath had second watch.
I rolled a critical.
You told me about that.
I was kind of going around this circle, but yeah, you guys can whatever. Y'all
Um,
can do that.
because I mean, Ferg has spent enough time with the orcs to learn some like ways to sign like what happened and like possibly how many people there were, like what time it happened. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. But all of your spells are back. All of your abilities are back, aside from inspiration. If you did spend inspiration, that's gone. And yeah, there we have it. It's a new day.
All right, I would like to interrogate the person that's with
I would
us.
like to talk to the person who's with us.
I would like to intentionally talk to the person that's with us.
Intentionally suck.
I'm gonna like.
Well, it's good timing because she wakes up when Ferg is handing over the watch to you.
So not at the end of the long rest? Still in the night?
Correct.
I don't want to talk to her when if they like it's like nighttime.
But that's the way it is.
Just punch her in the head again. Just like,
Just knock her out again.
yeah, she's like,
Okay,
So
I want to.
that roll that I wanted to see if there was a 1 through 5
Yeah.
was to see if she woke up during this very, very critical time of silence.
Oh, but she didn't.
She did not.
Okay.
Yeah, but she did stir and start to wake while Ferg was passing the torch to you
Okay.
on the watch.
Can
The
I just
proverbial torch,
the unlit torch.
the unlit torch.
can I just tell her that she better be quiet till the morning and like we don't mean her any harm, but we want to just talk to her and Joy is with us.
You can
snuggles up to
make
Joy.
a persuasion check.
Can I make a intimidation check instead?
Everyone's so mean to my friends.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an intimidation check for sure.
Okay.
I've been with you guys for like 3
I'm not
weeks.
trying to be mean. I just have a +1 to intimidation and a -1 to persuasion.
What do you mean? Ugh, that's good.
17,
15
15.
and a 17 on times portents, and Connor goes, ooh.
Time likes importance to be a little bit
I rolled a 9.
more spread.
I rolled an 8.
That's
I rolled an 8.
So that's the offense
Total?
spread.
Yeah.
That's definitely the offense spread.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 total.
You try to intimidate, but you yawn halfway through.
I wasn't trying to be like mean, just trying to be like, go the fuck to sleep, you know? Like,
If you don't go here, I know.
Okay, then who is after you on watch?
probably either Joy or Time. But if it's Joy,
I
I
could have
would be
gone
like,
third, but
please don't like let your friend free. We need to stay quiet through the night. Like
she's
we'll
elf
talk to her in the
or
morning.
half elf. She's elvish or half elvish?
He is actually Lee's human.
He's human.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one that I described that ran away was half elf.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
Oh,
Lee
yeah, I
was the
thought you said
elvish
she looked
one.
like she had
Nope.
Elvish in her when
Yeah.
I looked her in the eyes.
Got a little elvish in there. You know what I mean? Wink, wink.
Oh no! Actually,
Yeah,
no.
judge.
I did say that. I apologize. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because
So yeah, half elf.
the very bright green eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dwarves can have green eyes.
Yeah.
get out of here.
Also, lightning scars in it. Yeah. So half elfish. Half. Oh.
Did you just
half-
make Harry
yes.
Potter a dwarf?
Okay, so I would like
Yes.
you
Me.
to make a perception check.
Can I? Okay.
Now.
I'm gonna use my D10 thing for this.
What's the D10?
It's my luck thing that allows me to once per long rest.
You're gonna luck already.
No,
I not do
no,
it?
because this is less than halfway through the long rest. so
Yeah,
this is before.
Well, did you use it before?
Oh, you're right. I haven't actually got it back yet. I did use it before.
So you cannot
okay.
use it.
Oh, damn it, Fisher. I'm just kidding. Okay, I got a 14.
A 14?
Yep.
Lee has a -2 to stealth.
So you catch Lee. Okay, here's what I'll describe.
Mhm.
As you're going over to Joy to, very lightly wake him up to switch the guard,
Yeah.
and you begin to sort of explain to Joy, okay, here's the deal. She's awake.
Mm-hmm.
It's your watch. But you can't, blah, blah, blah. And that's when you basically hear a small little scuffle, and you turn around, and she's bolting. She's basically trying to stealthily get the fuck out of there.
Even
Okay.
tied up.
I run along the wall
What?
and grab her.
Even tied up.
Her
but
arms are tied.
So you all described that she was tied up, but she wasn't tied in the regard of she wasn't hog tied or anything like that.
Okay.
So so
We just tied her shoelaces together.
I
No, I feel like we would have bound her ankles, but not so tightly that. Okay, cool.
yeah.
I just basically fucking run along the wall and
And
get in
of
front of
course
her.
you catch her.
Yeah. I don't even catch her. I just get in front of her and I give her a look that's are you fucking serious right now? I don't even say anything. I just literally give her that look. And I'm probably a lot taller than her, so I'm just really?
Yeah. What are you? 7'2"?
And she actually glares at you with a certain semblance of like hatred.
And I do
And
this thing
fear.
that like orcs do, where it's kind of just like a. And they do it to other orcs when you're like being territorial, where you kind of just like grunt at them and like bare your tusks a little
It's
bit.
like the anime hair flare, like the.
I just kind of like jump my jaw out at her and like bare my tusks a little bit and make like a growl sound and go lay back down.
And she kind of smiles. And maybe the smile is the kind of smile that says, yeah, I know that game. And
Okay.
Murder.
You're asleep.
I know. I'm gonna wake up and hear all this, and I'm gonna murder.
for it is sleep. I'm gonna murder.
Berg is not having it with any of these people.
So murder.
When I hear that happen, I just go up to them and I just pull their blanket a little more over their shoulder. And I go lay down on the other side of the room and I say, Joy, seriously, don't let her get away. And I go to sleep.
In front of the entrance, right?
Yeah, in front of the entrance.
Okay.
She'd have to literally walk over me.
Yeah.
So Joy, you're on watch now.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that Lee doesn't necessarily engage in conversation with you as much as she does give you this sort of like vitriolic, disappointed look.
Who the fuck were you hanging out with?
And stares at you the whole time.
That's so awkward.
I mean, Berg's asleep. I don't know.
Do you say anything to her?
It's so awkward though. I'm asleep.
So I'm not. Ow. Ow. I'm just banging my knee into the bottom of the table and it really hurts.
I don't care about your pain. I want you to hear.
I'm working on it. Yeah, so for a little while I just kind of like look her over and make sure she's like try and see if there's like the escape plan gears grinding in her head.
Make an insight check.
Insight check. Insight is wisdom.
Yes.
17. No, sorry, 18.
Okay, so there's not an escape plan. She's not that dumb. Like, she tried, she failed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, her hands are tied.
figured.
She saw how quickly Keth moved. It was just like, yeah, kind of, you know.
You can't
kind of
escape from a
kind
monk.
of squelched her. It kind of squelched her, her
Lust for
hopes.
freedom.
Her hopes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you also notice that she's strangely confident. She's not as afraid as maybe she should be.
Mm-hmm. Does my true sight tell me anything?
No.
What's going on? Nope.
No. There's no, nothing, no illusions or anything like that. You even kind of like with your dark vision kind of peer through the murder holes just to see if there's anything invisible down there, just for funsies, just in case, you know. You don't really hear anything, but no, there's nothing. I mean, really, she's oddly confident in the way she holds herself.
Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing here?
Defending the orcish people from you. And don't ask that question like, oh no, sir. I can't even believe that you're with them.
What did these people do?
We saved the Moonjaws, excuse me.
What?
What did these people do?
They're trying to drop the barrier. Why do you think all these demons got put into place? It was your friend who botched the ritual.
That's when I was still with you guys. I hadn't found these people yet.
Okay.
You mean on accident?
You mean no, on purpose. They're trying to destroy the orcish way of life. And if I've been taught anything from Michelle over the past, 5 years, it's that the orcish way of life is worth preserving.
Oh,
And she kind of gets a little emotional and like a little
no, I
teary.
agree. I've been hanging out with these guys for a couple weeks now. They are. I make sure everyone's still asleep. They are nerds about the orcs. They are like obsessed with
You
this
saw
culture
us
thing.
like a Kesha helped us, like a Dothbarn Kesha helped us.
These people have been fully adopted into the society.
Yeah. But he said you'd say.
Michelle?
They've really got you fooled.
These people
Amazing.
barely even talk to me. I mean, time sometimes, but everyone else.
That should tell you something.
They just go, I'm just following along, trying to.
Maybe you
nothing.
should think a little bit for yourself.
I tried that for a while. That
Yeah.
didn't turn out so well.
Well, listen. Just get a good
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Aside from the bludgeoning in the back of my head by your barbaric half-orcish friend over there, yeah.
Is it alright if I take a look at that? I checked you when you were unconscious. You're not gonna
That's
die,
creepy.
but
That's creepy.
I'm a medical professional. Excuse me.
Is that Fisher not laughing? Character serious, Fisher laughing.
I mean, little crossover.
Okay. You'd have to make a persuasion check, honestly. If you're really dead set on it.
It's 12.
It gives you sort of it's hard to tell. It's like it gives you a non-verbal answer that could be a yes or a no, and you have to maybe take a risk to come close to her.
Mm-hmm. What's in my adventuring gear that'll help with it? Do I have like bandages or something
You
just
have a
in
club.
case?
No, I'm kidding.
You have daggers.
I don't think I do.
Seriously? Jesus.
Look.
Actually, I'm just gonna say everybody has a dagger.
Okay, yeah. Currently, my primary
Like a
weapon
wooden
is
dagger?
literally a branch I took from a tree.
Yeah, like a sharpened stake at the very least.
Yeah.
I mean, I made obsidian daggers.
I think you may have
So,
actually
but
given me
everybody
one.
else.
No, you did not make it for everybody else. Because it took you a very long time to just make them for yourself. I actually
Oh, that's right,
even
it did.
remember that you failed on one of those. So, yeah, those took a while.
I was learning.
That's totally fair.
I'll make you some later.
If there's a later.
There's
All right, I'm gonna,
always a
like-
later.
Is there?
I'm gonna like scooch a little bit close because we were sitting like sort of on opposite walls. I'm gonna like scoot halfway across the room
Yeah.
and just like reach in my bag and like show them that I'm not reaching for anything dangerous. That I'm just like reaching for like a bandage, some cloth to like bind any wounds they might have.
She sort of silently appreciates that. And then you can tell that she's open to your sort of your treatment.
All right, so I'm gonna start wrapping the bandage around and ask. While doing that, I'm like, how are you protecting the barrier? I'm asking because I want to help. If that's something that you're open to, I have things that can help you, knowledge and experience, and if you need help, I'm more than willing to help.
Just need to keep these people away from the castle. Once they get in there, it's over.
Does this have something to do with the Rot Queen? Because they're hold still. They're trying to
The Rot who?
the Rot Queen.
You're speaking gibberish. I don't even know what that is.
That's what we're trying to stop, bitch.
Me neither. They didn't explain it super clearly to me when I signed up. But
Yeah.
the blobtars.
What?
You've seen those horrible the gelatinous orcish monsters. You've seen them.
Okay,
Those are her work.
I've seen a few of them, and they're Wait, whose work?
The Rot Queens.
Is that what you call your friend here?
No, rude.
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying.
Keth is not a queen. Excuse me.
I'm just saying that.
Not that there's anything wrong with anything.
I'm just.
Time is also the opposite of rotten. I mean,
I'm
like,
definitely a queen.
yeah, like Time's kind of a dick sometimes, but not on purpose.
I'm just saying that they're not telling you everything.
And are you?
Yes, I am. That we need to stop them before they get into the capital center. If they end up going underground, you know, like basically city center underground, game over.
But what's there that they'll damage?
Michaud seems to think that it's some kind of a node, like
yeah.
So the preservation ritual. So there's the 3 standing stones that ritual is a part of, right? Well, except fourth, and that fourth one is inside the capital.
Then who was responsible for this one?
What Michaud explained, it was
also. Sorry to interrupt,
Wait,
but
can I just answer? Can I?
Yep.
No.
Sorry. Go ahead. Just
Michaud explained that there is a series of orcs that for a time renounce their allegiance to their tribe so that they may come together at the capital, and they're essentially a neutral tribe, and they protect the capital. And there are various other people who live here, their families, friends, that kind of thing. But the capital is essentially a symbol of anything else. It's not heavily populated.
Especially not anymore.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah,
you
really?
I've seen a lot of tragedy, guys. And
Genocide.
you keep talking about Michaud's not. How long have you been here?
What you mean here?
Yeah, in the capital.
We followed you here.
You followed us from. Because Michaud was in the village.
No. Stop trying to put lies in my head. Listen, I don't think you're doing it intentionally, but they're feeding you information, and it's not.
Feed that to you. Talk to Michaud.
No, yeah, I talked to him. Wait a minute.
That's not possible. I don't. I mean, you have that wizard there. She can probably cast mass hallucinations. Think about it.
I've seen her spell list.
I mean, think about it. How much do you really know of these? 2 weeks? I'm guessing not much.
It's been like 3 now.
Oh, great. That's a lifetime.
Well, I was only with you guys for a month. How much do I know about you?
Well, enough to know that I'm not going to just sit here and lie to you. Like, yeah, my life's on the line. I get it. I've spent enough time around these beautiful people to recognize that their way of life is worth fighting for. And again, she's starting to sort of cry a little bit.
Lee, and I reach forward and like I don't take her hand, but I put my hands in a place where if she's okay with me taking them, she could just move them into mine. And I accept that what I think I know might be lies, but I need you to accept that same thing.
How? How is what I know a lie?
I can't tell you that. I don't know.
Afraid we're at an impasse. She doesn't take your hand.
All right, I scoot back to my side of the room and wait out the rest of my watch.
Right. And the last watch is time, which with the barest description, I will say is probably the weirdest moment in Lee's life.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like Tommy's just sitting there like, oh, you don't believe us yet, but when you do believe us, it'll be just so much easier to get through this. And Lee's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why are you? I don't even.
I can't wait till you make that cake that you do. Lee's like,
Tom wakes up and is like, oh, it's now. God damn it.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if we're gonna be friends with Lee.
So,
But Tom knows
probably
about the
gonna
cake that she makes.
I know, right? Canon.
so you all wake up, and I'd imagine there's a little
Awkwardness as we all get dressed.
bit of awkwardness as you get dressed. There's some breakfast that's made. There's
When we like
basically-
serve breakfast, Keth would untie Lee and basically be like, I think we should like have a meal together, and I would like to know why you're attacking us. Like, what have we done to warrant this?
And she just glances at Joy and says nothing. But Joy, go ahead and make an insight check.
Dicks.
It's dicks.
That is really dicks. That's a 7 right now.
You're consumed.
Can I-
Can you?
Use my inspiration point now.
Of course you can. So re-roll that d20.
I just really hope we don't fight anything big, because I want my air elemental.
I mean, it's 9:30, so
Ooh.
you're hedging your bets well.
Okay, that's true. This is now a 21.
Okay. So she gives you. She sort of. Here's what you say. She gives you a look, and she says something kind of quippy and unkind. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but really the thing is that when she looked at you, there's this sort of like quick darting of the eyes, glancing back and forth to Joy, that leaves you to believe that maybe inside of the rest of her evening, she's sort of whipped herself into a little bit of self-doubt.
Does time catch this eye movement?
She has high perception.
Yeah,
Her passive perception is 20.
Well, I'm looking for passive insight.
Her passive
Specific.
insight is 22.
No, passive insight's no.
That's passive
Oh, it
investigation.
was 15.
15.
Passive investigation.
Because
I rolled a 2, so I was giving
Which is
that
funny.
mostly to Joy because of Joy's conversation with
Yeah.
Time, but I will say that Time picks up on a little awkwardness.
Yeah.
And
okay, well, when she doesn't really respond to Keth, can Keth say something else to her?
Yes.
Or
of course,
so Keth will kind of like look around at his friends and be like, I think we should need to be as like open with this person as possible. Like, and we'll
she
basically
kind of snorts at that.
she will, and Keth will basically just like with Time and Ferg's help kind of explain what, like why they went to Moonjop, because they were sent there by Ramalg.
Yeah.
And when they got there, they helped Faye and the rest of the orcs escape. They found out that, you know, the lich inside of Sparky like created this that basically broke the ritual and let forth this thing called the Rock Queen.
So the thing that she force feeds into your description is when you mention the Lich and Sparky, she says, in which you enacted.
How could I enact a lich? I'd have no magical powers. I am a monk.
She says,
I can punch things and I can run really fast.
you know people. And she's just sort of like, time for
I like that you're insinuating this, but also Time is a wizard. She doesn't have that kind of magic. You're looking more for like a necromancer.
Definitely didn't create this lich. This lich is a long
This lich is centuries old.
century, like long held July family problem.
This is so much of a side story, Lee, that we really can't get fully into it because I'm pretty sure that there's still a lot of things down here that want to kill us. But just know that, like, if I could destroy it, I would, but, like, I literally know nothing about lich magic.
So you're giving her kind of the the step 1 to step 2, step 2, 3 as quick as you can. Like you said, you don't have like all the time in the world to go into all the details.
Yeah.
I would like you to make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Can I assist on this?
Well, how are you assisting? Because I haven't heard you say anything quite yet.
So,
And you're talking about Ferg or time?
Ferg.
Thank you.
Ferg is definitely like filling in information, like those steps that Kath is leaving out. Ferg is like interjecting really quickly, like yada yada yada. This happened because Ferg's memory is like drastically, and also like interjecting what happened. Not the full story of Ferg's experience in the ritual of preservation, but like Ferg was definitely participating and like
and like when we felt it not happen.
Yeah. Like knew what was going on and knew that it didn't happen. Like and also like Ferg didn't get this tattoo for no reason.
Like, yeah, you can even tell, you can interject that even. Look, the kids gave me the tattoo at the ritual. Yeah. It's still healing.
All of those points are clear selling points, but the big ones for me are the tattoo and other one. Gosh, I was like...
Organization of the...
No, and the increased memory.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like how you're rattling off all these details in sort of rapid succession is very much aiding your cause. So, Keth, please.
Do I have to make the persuasion check?
Damn right you do.
You don't get to make it? Are you sure?
Your persuasion is probably way better than mine. Mine's flat, so just fucking roll good.
All right. That is a 12. I'm gonna inspire it. Fuck it.
Wait, didn't you already use inspiration?
No.
Okay.
My staff was still active from last week.
Ah, got it. Yeah, you're right. Remember, you add 10.
It doesn't matter, Bill. It's a 1.
Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't matter. So it's an 11 plus your bonus. So that's
-1. So that's a 10. So I got a 10 and a 13.
All right.
I tried.
I know.
She's stubborn.
I rolled a really bad on my... Do I get to roll my inspiration advantage? That was a joke.
This is why Ferg just wants to put a dagger in her.
Wait, can we put it?
You know, but the no.
Time wouldn't use her portent for something.
I'm gonna tell Time in the future how important it was.
Time looks at you and says, "It's not really that." Because she knows
important.
That you said that. Yeah. I totally that.
We basically kind of like finish it off with like we went and got the blessings of the orc chieftains so the non-orcs could get in here, and we came because we were concerned that the Rock Queen was making her way in this direction, and you know,
and going to take out the rest of the orcs.
Yeah, like the orcish people are like,
with the exception of making a little confused face when you every time you mention the Rock Queen, there's a little bit of a confused face. She seems to soften a bit, and she says, "I will trust you for now because I trust my."
And
and we explained the two Michaud thing. Like, we're like, how are you with a Michaud? Because we were with a Michaud, and there's 2 of them, and I don't think Michaud has a twin. Like, where did you meet your Michaud?
Especially one named Michaud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your Michaud is an orc of the Moonjaw, yes?
Our Michaud.
We are Michaud shadows. We were all unfortunate souls. No, for the most part. There are a few orcs within our number, but mostly non-orcs. We are some of the unfortunate souls that wandered a little too close to the Kashar.
Such as myself. Like, this Michaud is the first one.
You came in here on purpose, though. That doesn't
No,
count.
but your group is the first group I met up with in here. They can't be truly evil, because otherwise why would they have fed and clothed the cleric?
Anyway.
Well, you have things in common with my friends then.
That's neither here nor there.
That's how they
What
entered.
I'm trying to say is that Michaud took us in taught us the ways of the Kashar,
Mm-hmm.
and allowed us to not only stay alive, but to dedicate ourselves to a cause that's bigger than us.
Yeah, that's awesome. The orcs are amazing.
So that's the Michelle I know.
But okay, so however many days ago this is OOC. However many days ago we were in Coast, like right after we got attacked, and then we saw Michelle, and Michelle was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm gonna be like, "That many days ago, were you with Michelle?"
And I'm sorry. What can you describe that again, Ashley? Because
I don't know,
didn't understand
like
that.
out of character, I don't know how many days it was, but like let's say 5 days ago we were in Coast and we saw Michelle, and that whole thing happened where we're like, "Hey, didn't you just attack us? What the fuck?" And Michelle was
trying
like,
to establish a timeline of
Yeah.
we were with Michelle.
7 days ago or whatever. Were you with Michelle that day? That's what I'm like straight up asking her.
I would. Okay, when you ask that question out loud,
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody at the table. Will doesn't get a roll because he's not here. I want everybody at the table to make a straight intelligence check.
I also have a thing for time to do.
Wait, what? What?
Dicks.
Oh, when you okay?
After this.
I got an 18.
18
Straight.
6.
Okay,
Great intelligence.
straight intelligence roll.
Oof.
19.
Okay, when you say that out loud,
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of like one of those moments where you say it out loud, and then you realize, wait a minute, we encountered Michaud twice on that day at 2 different places.
Mm-hmm. So is Michelle mushroom
And then
jumping?
right when you both get that, independently thinking that to yourself, she says, well, we weren't all in Kos proper, but we were outside of that area. So yeah, he's there.
So he lied to us.
But he was there and you were there. There's no lying going on.
No, but he said that he wasn't attacking us, and he assured us that he didn't know what we were talking about. Were you with the group of people who attacked us when we were with Faye in the Moonjaw when we had left the Moonjaw village? We got shot at with some bolts. Time was attacked and almost killed. Were you in that group?
I do remember that. Yes.
And Michelle was with you then, yes?
Of course he was.
Well, he then straight up lied to our faces and told us he was not with you, or there are 2 Michelles. And Michelle, I counted as a friend, and I think we all did beforehand. I did not know that he had ill will against us.
This is too much.
It is a lot. I am upset.
Yeah.
You are you are either upset or you are a very good liar.
Oh, I can tell you that Kath is the worst fucking
Well,
liar.
and I can
Monks
tell
do
you
not
that
lie.
Michaud has explained to us that Kath is a much better liar than he would lead on to be.
Do you know what happened to me when I lied as a child? My mother was Remolg. Do you know what happens when you lie to the great Remolg?
Do you know who Remolg is?
Yes.
Everybody
Also,
knows who Remolg is.
Kath blushes when he.
I do not. And Kat like super blushes.
What color does green skin turn when it blushes?
I'm not green. I'm like a grayish color, but
It turns
Do you
like
get darker or
blue.
lighter?
darker.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a deepening of shade. That's what blushing is. So. Or pigment.
I mean, Fergus hung out with Kath enough to know that, like, Kath
Can't lie very
I
well.
can't like.
Okay,
At all.
okay, so let's entertain the idea.
That your friend is helping a fucking lich take over the
The Kashar? Because you were stopping
Don't
us.
finish my words for me. I was going to say that there are 2 Michauds.
I think you might be with the wrong one, though, friend. As much as I hate to admit it, you were stopping. Remolg sent us to save this Kragst, and you were stopping us from entering Kragst at Michaud's orders. Do you not see the connection here, Lee?
I see a connection that is being led only by your words. Now, I've been told something completely different. So you'll forgive me if I'm a little dubious.
No, and I
Yeah, of course.
understand. I'm genuinely concerned because either our groups need to team up and we need to save Kragst together, or we need to figure out a way to get past your people to save Kragst
wait.
because all the orcish people are in
Time
trouble.
goes. Wait. Hear sort of shuffly footsteps.
What do I see? I mean, I have dark vision, so does Time, I think.
Well,
right now.
you see movement below. But aside from that, anyone with dark vision can roll a
It's
perception
coming
check.
useful for the first time in 7
I don't
years.
see it.
Time does have it because of this fucking belt.
Yeah, I was
there
gonna
we
say.
I also need.
Nope.
We need to go.
Actually, I'll
back
go
a little
off
bit.
her passive perception and say that she does see a number of bodies down there.
I mean, she rolled a 21.
Okay, fair.
It's better than passive.
What'd
Or
you,
that is
what'd you get?
passive.
7.
7?
No, sorry. 8.
Yeah, so Kath and Joy, basically you are aware that folks are down there, but in terms of any details, you can't really see any of that. But what you do see, there is this battle inside of Lee that is fighting. Do I yell out or do I stay quiet? There. So hold on a second. So there is. You can just see that they're like you're all just sort of looking down there, and then eventually kind of look up, and you see that battle happening within Lee.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing you see is you see Time in this thing. Like getting in the right space at the right time, and then also you see June kind of hopping along very silently along the murder holes and kind of like sticking her little like bird eye like through the hole.
I'd say that Keth just gives
and
Lee a
Time-
very earnest, like pleading look, like just like don't do it. Like this could fuck us all. Don't do it. You don't know who's down there.
Yeah. I
So
wish I had dark vision.
I know, right?
so
Wish
who
I had better
wants
perception.
to roll, and it can be only one person,
Not it.
a contested charisma roll, and it can be charisma persuasion or it can be charisma intimidation, but either of those you can roll against her charisma roll, and
+1 to intimidation.
I have a +2 to charisma overall.
Do it.
Time has a +3.
Oh, there you go.
no. I'm kind of taking
Or just-
time out of the mix here. I want
Okay.
y'all to be.
I still want to. There was a thing that I wanted to
Okay.
talk about that.
Oh, sorry.
Passed away too fast.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
So
yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't do it on purpose, but I was trying to create urgency.
all right, before
When we get back.
I'm about to interact with Lee, and I'm like focusing on that, and real quick, I look to Time, and I'm like, now it's important. And I'm like,
What did you say?
I said,
Maybe now's important.
Yeah, maybe now's important. And then
And Time looks at you and does this. She goes,
and then I'm like, Lee, do you know, are these your group?
You're
and
trying to get her not.
I know, I'm doing like,
it's going to depend on this roll. So basically, I want to do this charisma roll with you.
fucking 6 again.
Can importance happen after the roll's been said? I don't know.
I think it's before the DM declares.
Yes, I do. I believe that's true.
Oh, so then
There was a 15 and then a higher roll.
Joy rolled a 15.
So 17 total.
So in response to your question, just shakes her head yes. Like nervously, subtly, but shakes her head yes.
Tell her not to say anything, or
Like,
No, honestly,
Yeah, I'm just like-
there's just it just remains tense and it remains silent.
I'm just like,
But ultimately, she stays quiet.
Berg is like silently spinning a dagger, like hearing all this shit going on and can't see anything. Like die real fast.
Start to leave. Oops, a little bit.
June doesn't poop.
Falls through the murder hole, but no one notices. She telepathically just goes, "I'm sorry."
It was a metaphor for time.
Quite that physical.
Okay.
That is insulting.
So then, like, I kind of makes a motion to like keep it quiet, and then what did you want to say?
So I wanted to go back to when Lee was reacting to the Rock Queen's name, and
Which was kind of a nothing.
yeah, and so
I wanted
like
to do
with
this
time
too.
I've noticed like her non-reaction been like, wait, is she hearing something else other than what when we
The
say Rock
words.
Queen, like what is she hearing? Is she enchanted?
That's exactly what Joy was thinking about too. Like after this, I was gonna be like,
So say, what do you hear when I say these words?
Yeah, time will flat out ask that question.
And she says, with a lot of sort of cynicism in her voice, "The Rot Queen."
Does she So she has a reaction when she says it, but when we say it, she's super flat.
Well, okay, when you say it, actually
Yeah.
no, I take that back. It wasn't necessarily flat as much as it was sort of an eye roll.
Like skeptical? Even after we explained the whole like mycelium thing?
And the Blobtars and the whole sack of rotten oranges
You know,
that they are.
it's just those of you who at the table, characters that are a little more empathetic than others, can kind of get that. A, this is a lot to take in. B, it's completely counter to what she's been communicated, that she's been told
for ages.
for a long time. And C, the Rot Queen seems a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
And a
Ferg
little
is just
on the
like,
nose.
Even
we
in a
give you the
world of
truth,
magic
like,
and mystery.
why aren't you accepting this fucking fact that we know?
Yeah.
Joy understands very well the feeling of like, what?
Yeah, Ketch
But
just
he
kind of
just accepted it the other way. He was like, okay. But
Ketch
she's
just
much
kind
more
of at one point
hesitant.
looks at her frustratingly and been like, if you were truly a follower of the Orcish ways, you would understand that the mycelium is not always a benevolent force.
And that point, you hear a very distant cacophony of noise,
Like a battle.
like distant, echoey, like raising voices, screaming, clanging of weapons.
I cast Pass Without a Trace and I'm like, let's go find out what's happening.
All of us or one of
All
us?
of us.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
think
not leaving any of us alone, and
splitting the party is not a good idea. Worst case scenario, we stealth back to the murder hole.
or we find a different
Murder hole to stealth back to.
Yeah.
Time agrees that we should definitely check this out. Lee is like, no, we don't.
Well,
Why?
Joy was kind of siding with Lee. It was like, this is a battle we're not involved with. We won't get hurt. I think
we're
we should,
fighting for the
somebody
fucking
should.
Kashar.
Yeah, we're fighting for the
and-
Orcish people. If there's orcs down there that need our help, then we will go help them. You can stay here if you wish, and you can watch Lee. We don't.
Okay.
Lee,
I'd like
are
your
you-
healing if you
Lee,
come
are
with
you all
us.
right to come with us? We will keep you safe.
She gives you a look like, do I have a fucking choice?
I'm giving you
have a fucking choice.
Yeah. No, she didn't even say that out loud. It was basically like a.
Yeah, and Ferg out loud is like, no, you don't have a fucking choice.
Please don't give us reason to tie you up again, Lee.
And you're all like, how did Ferg read that expression? Ferg's not really good at reading expressions.
Yeah, and
believe it.
you
That's
know,
okay.
it's clear that Lee is incredibly threatened and
Incredibly.
and definitely annoyed at Ferg. But that said, I mean, Lee's going along with you a lot more fluidly than you would have expected.
Okay.
So you start to make your way down the ladder.
Before Lee comes down, can we crank it down to maybe a 5 or 6 on the intimidating Lee scale? Take it down from the 9 we're at now. Because
Ferg's like, what are you talking about?
That's just for.
And
Sorry,
so,
Joy. I know you've not been with us long, but Ferg is just like that.
And so as that conversation
I know,
happens,
but
kind of
Leah's-
quietly and whispery, going down the ladder, you guys start to go down the passageway. You're sort of like from the echoing, you're guessing. Actually, time just like it's that way.
Yeah.
Whatever time.
Yeah.
Time's that way.
But and it's definitely heading back up to the central plateau. And when you get to the point in which you heard the sounds, because at a certain point the sounds sort of lessened and dimmed and then was non-existent. You get to the point and you very much get to sort of the close to the entrance of the cave, but you see nothing.
Like no bodies or anything?
Well, make an investigation.
True
Well,
sight?
time has a passive investigation of 22.
So true sight is mostly used for anything
And
in the
dark
realm
Anything
of
hidden,
illusion.
right? Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll make an investigation check,
be
but
imaginary
I don't think I
bodies.
can pass
What's time's passive investigation? I probably
22.
have it right in here.
Yeah, it's 22.
Oh, I didn't write that down. 22.
Yeah.
Investigation's intelligence.
Make pencil.
But I rolled an 18,
Oh, there
if
it
that
I rolled
matters.
a fucking 11.
22.
I'm so good at this.
22.
Okay, so
I rolled a 17, so.
time says, "Oh look, there's blood," and sees that there is a smear of blood heading out.
Out of the tunnels?
Good.
Berg asks Kath if there's, like, can you get us around the other side of the plateau in the tunnels? Like, so we're not coming up right in the middle, but coming from behind?
There's no other, like, way to go under the city? Okay.
Is this orcish blood?
Ooh,
Kath-
that's a good question.
Would a medicine skill check?
A medicine would, yeah.
It has a use. It has a
You
use.
taste that blood, Fisher.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna be like,
Berg tastes it.
Raspberry.
It's blood.
Oh my god.
oh, fucking, that's a 18.
What's it taste like, Bill?
I know their blood type. Their blood type is red.
You know their blood type and also their parents' blood type.
I'm just sitting there on the floor licking this blood and doing like the squares.
Ferg looks at you and is like, what the hell is blood type?
Human.
Human blood. Does there appear to be more than one source of, or more than one blood, more than
Not
one blood
according
smear?
to Time's keen eyes.
Okay.
Kath kind of looks at Lee and says, were you, like, really quietly, were you with a human? Like, after...
There are many humans in our party.
Hmm.
And you could confirm this.
I'm like, how many of them have blood?
Well,
All of
well,
them?
hold on a second. So
Well, not anymore.
Now that we're on the subject, so you're beginning to recall all of the members in which Michaud called his shadows, right? And
And just pointing this out, Joy has a suspiciously poor memory.
well, I don't know, like short-term memory or long-term memory.
Both. Like, his memory seems suspiciously
Well,
poor for
okay, now that
things.
you bring that up, then make an intelligence check.
Don't like this.
Critical
That one, everybody
failure.
Yeah, so all these questions that you're asking are kind of legit because you don't remember. You just somehow faces are just not.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a moment to remember Lee, even though they were the one who was like flirting with me for a while. I was like,
So I
Wow,
accidentally
you're the worst date ever.
I haven't been on a date
I
in
accidentally
like 35
killed
years.
one human, right? So, Lee,
Ooh,
how many?
let's not bring that up.
Yeah.
It was an accident, Lee. How many humans are in your party besides the one that
They almost killed me.
got eliminated?
But somebody saved you.
Looks like 2. Blood.
So there's one blood.
I mean, there's minimum 2.
Yeah, I was just being...
Yeah.
Also, is this blood spatter or blood smear or blood roll?
Smear. Roll?
Yeah.
What do you...
Like,
just like kick rolling a body out?
that's what I would do.
I mean, we're going uphill in this body. According to time, it's smeared out. So,
Is this a carefully?
Somebody pulled it out.
Yeah. Does it look?
She
This is.
says
Oh, sorry.
5
5
How
humans.
many people total?
Maybe 6, but that one guy, Abad, has cat eyes, so I'm not sure if he's.
Ooh, and one of them doesn't have a head anymore.
That one's a little iffy, yeah.
How many total in your party?
Oh no, she says 6, 7 if you count Ahmad. And it describes the cat eyes. Total.
There were 15 of us,
1,
maybe 20.
2.
We're fucked if we don't get these people on our side.
1 second.
This is OOC
1,
for
2,
clarity.
3, 4.
But we didn't
5,
always
6,
move together.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 of us. And then she says, "Well,
There's 8 now. Because
Is this 11 including you?
I accidentally
Well,
There's- blood smear, and you're with us.
yeah, so
yes, but so you knocked her out, and you killed the other one,
Yeah.
the one with the ponytail."
Bert's joking
and
because
brown
of the
eyes.
blood smear that another one is dead.
And well, okay. So aside from that, you don't necessarily know if this person's alive or dead.
We're assuming with that amount of blood,
But they're at least not gonna attack
probably
us.
Out of commission.
So I never actually said how much blood it is. It's actually not that much.
that's
Okay.
actually what I was going to ask. Like, is this like a drag off a dead body because you just killed them kind of blood, or is this drag off your limping friends because you're helping them kind of blood?
Well, as you follow it further, it looks to be maybe like drag off a dead body, but then the tracks sort of change to the point where maybe they would be sort of helping this person along.
Okay.
So you're thinking that this person survived.
I'm thinking that these guys might have won this fight and had a casualty.
What were they fighting then?
I don't know.
Well, somebody was shooting them. Do you know who was shooting you, Lee? Like with the arrows?
Hold on a second.
Because that definitely wasn't us. You could see all of us. So who
Okay,
was
I
that?
apologize. There's 13 total.
Fuck.
So there were 14 when I was with them. I was pretty close.
So
You were the
now,
14th for sure.
Yeah.
If so, assuming this blood smear is not out of commission, that's
Yeah.
we can take on 11 people.
Lee. Who was shooting you from the tunnels?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, when you were attacking us, it seemed as if
I don't know. We don't know.
you have no idea.
No, it was a surprise for us. We were not expecting that, which
Well, it
sort
seemed
of
like
we had to reroute our thinking, and of course Michaud redirected us a good way, I guess.
And she wasn't really around for most of the fight, too. She was kind of on your shoulders
That's
for
true.
a good half of it.
You know, I didn't use
How
you
does
as cover when I was
Michaud
carrying you.
direct
Just
you
saying.
when
And like she didn't even think that you were until you just said that now. She just is like,
And she suddenly
Your
looks
friend still
offended and
shot
then
at me.
unoffended.
I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
could have.
how does Michaud direct you when your party is split into 2 spots? Like,
Intricate whistling.
well, we have a plan.
yeah, but what if that plan goes awry
Yeah, how to-
and you have to, like, do you just improvise and hope that you survive, or
Well, it's generally Rom is his second in command. So Michaud's usually got one party and Rom's got the other.
okay? Tell us about Rom.
We've met Rom.
Did we meet Rom?
Rom was the one we met the first time when they brought us the care package and we were.
Oh,
Remember, like,
yeah,
when that thing attacked time and I was making stew and then.
I do. Yeah,
You remember Rom to be very stoic. He doesn't.
Yeah,
he
he didn't
doesn't
really
smile.
talk.
He had a really heavy burn scar on the side of his face that kind of led up to his hair. Didn't quite like take out like this side of his hair, but like it encroached up a little bit on the side of his skull.
Zuko scar.
Yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, like your
Do I remember what he
average sort
was?
of brown-haired, sort of woodsy militant human.
Do I remember more about him?
I'm pretty sure we knew that he used to work for Fallenstein? Like, wasn't he a Fallenstein soldier?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if you asked that
I feel
either.
like that was something we just, I don't know. I've been listening to the older episodes, and for some reason that's information that I have in my brain, and I don't know why I would have made something up about an NPC. But sometimes I do
I will
that.
say, because you're unclear at this point, and all of us are unclear, I will say that's unclear.
Okay.
But I will
Your future is murky.
What did you ask? You asked...
I asked if I remember more about him from spending like a month with him.
You obviously remember Rom, but what you don't remember... What you remember about Rom is that he was usually off on missions. While Michaud was back, like, laying plans, giving the orders, that kind of thing. And so when he did come around, it was usually like, very private meetings between him and Michaud. He would eat dinner with the rest of the folks around campfires and stuff like that. But ultimately, he wouldn't talk all that much.
User?
That's what I was trying to remember.
Well,
I don't
who were
remember.
you asking?
Lee.
He's like, no, Michaud's the magic.
There's only one
There's only one what?
magic user.
Well, we have the two...
I remember there being...
We have the two life stewards. Their names...
If one of them's Lucy July, I'm gonna shit a brick.
Manny and Lilith, but otherwise, like, no. There's just Michaud, but he's a different kind of magic user. He's
He's a druid. The Michaud we know is definitely a druid.
What kind of magic user or Michaud?
Yeah, so that could really tell us some
a
things.
varied magic user, but definitely more on the lines of blow you up magic.
Like sorcerer, wizard.
I don't know what that means.
Did he
know
have
that-
sorcery points?
I just,
Did he flip a coin?
yes, he did. Yes, of course he did.
Could he shoot lightning bolts
Did
out of his fingertips?
Strange things happen sometimes when he used his magic, like things that he wasn't expecting.
No.
Okay, was it?
Was I remember Michaud?
No, but
Wink if I'm correct. I remember Michaud reading lots of books.
Yeah. Yes.
Wizard.
We read lots of books.
Sorcerers can't read.
okay. I think we should follow the blood trail.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Lee, taste this. Do you know who this is?
insight checks around.
Where's Burgess when you need her?
Oh, fucking, that's much better. That's pretty good. 18.
Burgess got taken over
17.
by a fucking lich.
Yeah, don't remind me. After all that,
What do you got?
17. 18.
16 plus 2, so 18.
24
15 plus 2.
and 16.
We're both equally smartical.
So all of you are, just
you're
that
right. 18,
last interaction with Lee gives you the impression that there's something on her mind that wasn't previously on her mind before.
What's on your mind?
She seems quizzical, deep in thought,
Hey, Lee.
confused, befuddled, all that good stuff.
Are you alright?
Penny for your thoughts?
I'm fine. And where you have to...
I can pretty much tell that you're not fine, and I don't know.
I don't know you, and you seem shaken.
Cool.
I know you.
You haven't treated me with a modicum of respect, so it's not like I'm gonna be forthcoming.
What are you talking about? We fed you, we gave you a place to
I'm not
sleep.
talking to you.
Oh, that's
She's
fair.
talking to me, and
But I can also tell there's something wrong with you. Can we discuss it? Do you
Someone please make a gif out of that.
you look confused?
What?
Connor's reaction was like, oh, yeah.
I mean, Ferd probably was trying not to say "go die."
Yeah, that was like literally you choking on your words.
It was great.
You will be cannon fodder.
Basically, Kes says, like, I'd like to move forward and iron out any misgivings. I don't want us to step out of this and have you, like, do something that'll be detrimental to the rest of us, because these are my friends, and I don't want to see anybody die today.
I just want to make sure you're okay.
Of course she's not okay. Look, like we kidnapped her.
I'm just now realizing maybe
It's okay. We're not going to force you to talk.
not Ramolg, sorry.
Michaud?
Rom and Michaud. I'm trying to think of more instances in which they were in the same place at the same time. And I can't think of many.
Many?
Can you think of any?
Yes, I can think of some.
Well, when we met them, they were together. The first time.
That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
How many
man,
times
you guys
have you
are so
seen them
old.
together in the last year?
Well, I can't be certain. But wait, you need last, what did you say, in the last year?
In the last year.
Well, again, she says, I can't be certain, but I can't say any more than a handful of times.
And is Rom a magic user, you said?
No.
No,
Rom's a
show.
Michaud is
She's
magic.
a show. Rom is...
Was Rom the one with
Rom's
the
a warrior.
cat eyes?
Rom is a scout. Rom is an information gatherer.
Okay. So
We think somebody plays shapeshifting.
that's what I'm thinking too. But why would Michaud who's shape-shifting into the other Michaud?
As soon as somebody mentioned shapeshifters, I kind of take a step back or two.
Are you a shapeshifter? Do you know something?
No.
And that's where we'll end tonight.
Joy!
Thank you to our viewers for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
somebody
This,
please gift that reaction.
This show is very much made possible by our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much. And you can we're on a lot of stuff now. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But more importantly, if you want to check out our audio podcasts, we're on Podbean. We're now on Apple Podcasts. We're now on Spotify. So check us out on all of those things. It's actually made listening to us a lot more accessible, so that's great. But if you want to just full on look at our dorky asses, we're on YouTube. So
Yeah.
Hey, YouTube.
And you'll see all of the things pop up in the end credits. So yeah. Anything else we want to say? Trappist Transfer. We're
transfer.
Yeah, starts October 3rd.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Just saying.
There also will be a Will and Connor Sci-Fi Book Club coming at some point in the next 6 months, so you can tune into that.
I won't be leading it, but I'll probably be participating.
We definitely have
As in reading the
our
books.
first drunken recap of Terra Sentia coming out.
Oh yeah.
That's being edited as we speak.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
With Will and Connor. It's like
That was...
If
I'm
they're
glad you have to pay for that.
if they're
it's only going to be available for patrons, so
Really glad
and,
you have to pay for that.
if you're watching-
no, seriously, pay for it.
if you're watching this episode on YouTube, will that episode already be out? The drunken recap, or is this coming
I
out?
didn't
before
know.
that?
I think it's got a couple weeks in editing.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe Matt's got that one.
Cool. So yeah, just keep an eye out for it.
Yeah.
Trappist
and-
Transfer is going to be good, by the way.
Yeah, Trappist Transfer is going to be great. And another thing too, like we've been recording our first Legend of the Five Rings audio podcast.
That's also going to be pretty good.
I'm excited for that.
It's pretty cool. We've been having a hell of a good time. Just honestly, like everyone's on fire at the table. But it is definitely more of a political samurai drama.
Which I am all about.
If you want all action adventure all the time, it is not your show. But it definitely is like getting in deep into sort of like a Rokugani sort of like clan war style thing. And this is centered around an opium war inside of Scorpion Lands. If anybody's familiar with L5R, either the collectible card game or the role-playing game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
I didn't realize there was a collectible card game.
Yeah, for a
There's
while,
always
the
a
collectible card game, when people won the tournaments in the big, like, sort of national tournaments, it directed which way the story canon was written inside of the role-playing game. It was very synergistic in that way.
That's pretty cool.
That's fucking.
That is really cool.
Fucking awesome.
Like if the one clan takes power or whatever in the game, then like that's what happens in the story.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
So now that Fantasy Flight has bought Legend of the Five Rings, they've sort of scaled back and they've moved actually back in the timeline. So it's kind of an open book now. A lot of the canon has actually been stricken.
Is this where the new one's taking place?
It is, yeah, definitely. We're using 5e rules. That's been really, really fun and challenging too. It's a pretty crunchy system, but it's
good crunchy.
also loosey goosey if you want it to be. So so we've been kind of doing
like all
more
the
of
good
that.
systems.
Yeah, thankfully we have Scott.
Like this one.
Scott's like really good at any sort of rule set.
Nice.
And it's been really fun. A little spoiler alert: this was the funnest. This is one of the funnest things that happened in the game. So Tom's character, they were all invited for dinner over at the governor's house, and the governor ends up, they're all kind of embroiled knee deep into a triple opium theft that has happened, that they're just sort of wondering who done it, right?
Yeah.
So they get invited over to dinner, and Tom's character, who plays a crab samurai, he's from the Crab Clan, offers to make the governor tea with a tea set that she herself gave him, about a year ago. And so she accepts, and so he begins to make this tea, but he has to retrieve his tea set. So he calls his very, at this point, lovable peasant servant named Daishi in, and basically something happens. There's an interplay that's happening at the table, and Tom finally rolls his tea score. It's an actual skill.
Of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is.
As it should be.
And doesn't get one success. And the game is scaled up where like 8 successes is like probably the best you're gonna get, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't get one success. So instead of accepting the failure, Tom's character actually just takes the teacups and just turns it over and purposefully spills it all over the place and just says, Governor, I could not let you drink this subpar tea. I was clumsy and careless in its preparation. And so she begins to be very accepting of this and understands and this and that. And I'm gonna say there's a lot more to this interaction than I'm actually giving forth, but basically after the dinner, they go out into the outside sort of courtyard as they're leaving, and they find the disemboweled body of Daishi, his servant.
Because she fucked up the tea.
The because is a lot more complex than that. Mm-hmm. But it was a very, very interesting interaction. So that was one of those sort of like, that was my first foray into like the Scorpion message of like, no, I totally get it, it's okay, and then sending that message,
the sting, the unseen sting.
It was great. Anywho, well, it's time to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you very soon. There's no game next week for my dog is having surgery, and I have to be around for that. But then Travis Transfer October 3rd.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Boom.
Be here to seek the truth with y'all.
Oh, yeah. Truth Seeker.
We'll see you when we see you.
Robot in disguise.
Smart.